Welcome to Sips with Scrubs, a nurse podcast where we talk about the good, bad, and ugly of being a nurse. Today we are joined again with Alex. She's returned guest for those who are new. So she's back with us. I definitely wanted to get her back on here because I feel like we had some good conversation the last time we were together. It was like pretty. It was pretty like good.
It was just like an
effortless conversation.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. So I was like, I was telling somebody else who I had on. I was like, sometimes I feel like I'll be pulling people's teeth. Like, what else, girl?
Oh, and then what happened?
Right. I'll be like, come on, talk. Yeah. So I definitely wanted Alex to come back and talk with us again today. And then also last time she mentioned something when I was listening to the episode back, and I definitely wanted to dive deeper into Preshift Anxiety this episode. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So definitely stick around if that sounds like your cup of tea. Give us a quick update on how you are, because I know last time you were here, still working agency. And I think that's where I think you were kind of like in that in between where you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do next, or like if you wanted to continue to do that or what.
So I'm definitely still doing agency. I ended up renewing. The manager, she's just so like, it makes a huge difference when they're just like, they're not, it's like, you have a manager that's like very structured, and then she is so cool. Like, I'll just text her like, hey, can you, I need this day off, or it's very easy to talk to her. And so I was like, you know what, the staff there now, I'm like staff there because I haven't been there so long.
Right.
So I'm still doing that. I'm trying to get, we talked about the PRN thing because I have a lot of like things coming up. Like my brother's having a kid, well, him and his wife. So, I want to have that flexibility, and I don't feel that I can do that with staff.
That's true.
So, I'm kind of thugging it out. I have made a decision of like, I'm going back to school.
Wait, you said you are going back to school?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to school.
What?
So, not because I think it'll be easier, because because I want to do F&P, and I know people like it's oversaturated, but I'm not doing it for. Of course, I don't want to be broke, but
not solely for the money.
Yeah, I feel like the money will come. I feel like it's also helping me with like purpose, and I truly feel that like nursing is a ministry in itself.
Yes, I was saying that the other day.
Yeah, and I really have I love cardiology. That's just like my niche, like even in nursing school.
Oh yeah, and then
I've always loved cardio.
Your first job, it was cardio floor.
Right. So like recognizing cardiac stuff just kind of comes second nature to me. But yeah, so I'm still doing agency. I know when we talked last time, I was considering like CCU. Yes. And I was like, baby, I am too burnt out to go to ICU at this point. Like,
I was like, wait, what?
Remember, I was like, I need something new. While I feel like that will help me like skill as in being a nurse practitioner if I had that ICU experience. But I think getting the IMCU experience was enough for me. So that's what I'm kind of at. I'm really trying to just solidify like a solid PRN that's flexible where I can choose whenever I want to work. Not like right now I'm on a contract, so it's the set 3 days. That.
Like you have to work 3 shifts a week type of thing.
Right. Rather with PRN, it's a little bit more flexible. You can have, I'll do 2 this week, and then I'll skip a week, do 3, whatever the requirement is.
Yeah, for the month or 6 weeks or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little long-winded, but that's where I'm at right now.
No, not too long-winded, because now I want to know. Oh, well, you did say you're going to go back to school for F&P, so I guess that answered that question. Okay. Are you going to go back to your school you was at before?
So I'm gonna apply there, but I'm also leaning more towards like more of it being online.
That's what I was gonna ask you, if you wanted to do online or not.
Because if I go back to I went to Prairie View. If I go back to Prairie View, I know they might have a hybrid option, but I know mostly it's
in person.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is so classy.
Y'all, for those who are just listening, I was pouring up drinks while Alex was talking. So we gonna be sipping on La Marca Prosecco with a little splash of cranberry juice for a little flavor for us. So we're gonna be sipping on that throughout today's episode.
Oh, that's the perfect
splash.
Right.
Let me taste it, because I'm like, it's just in my refrigerator.
It's just refreshing, like, Yeah.
Okay, I agree, because I bought that some time ago for some mimosas, but I never really used it.
Never used it? Yeah.
No, so it's just in there.
Basically, it's a cranberry mimosa, but...
Right. Okay, so that works. Now I know. Because normally I'm a plain orange juice girl. Pineapple juice is all right. But I'm cool with the orange juice. Like, I'm good. I really don't need much.
With me, I stay away from orange juice because I cannot stand pulp.
Oh.
But it's not just pulp. Like, I don't like stuff that's chunky. Like, if I'm drinking something, like, say I have a smoothie and a chunk of something comes through the straw, I'd be like, I'm done.
I'm like that too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like that too. And normally I don't even drink orange juice. So I was surprised that I even like orange juice and mimosas because I don't drink orange juice at all unless it's a mimosa. So I don't know, child. But to your point about the whole PRN thing, I think that's a good idea, especially like how you were saying how you wanted to be present for the people in your life who are having children and whatnot. And that's a good time, like you said, like to go back to school too. So I think that'd be the perfect balance, especially since like we were talking off camera, you guys, about float pool. It's the perfect thing because like I was telling you before about how I was looking for bridal shower venues on Monday. Literally, I had we could move our schedule up to 24 hours in advance without it being a call in. But I didn't know, like, it was literally like the next day. So I did have to end up calling in. But I just like emailed them and I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make my shift. And it was just like, okay.
So do y'all get penalized for like you have a certain amount of call-ins?
I think we still do, but honestly, they haven't ever told me anything. But I try to be careful about it because I don't want to abuse it. But at the same time, I really don't want to ask because I feel like if I ask, then they're gonna be like, "Well, you know what? You have been calling in a lot,
right?"
So I'm like,
let's look into this
until I get a verbal.
Yeah.
But honestly, I haven't called in a lot. I think this is my second call-in of this year, and it's like mid-May.
Girl,
this may be my second
I think I'm
one.
like on my third one because look, I do not go and stress myself if I'm not in the mental place.
I know that's right.
Like I'm like, look, you could die today, then your position gonna be open tomorrow. So
literally, literally, we were talking about that the other day.
You know, whatever you choose to do, but baby, I'm calling in
that part. But I didn't have to call in, but we were doing dress shopping, and like I was telling you before, the wedding, and then for you guys to know too. So the wedding's October, right? So we're in May, October of this year. Not like how normal where you wait a whole year.
Is it a big wedding?
It's like she says like 100 people. So that's a good amount, I feel like.
Yeah, that's pretty fast, but you know, everyone has their own.
She said, "Okay, we trying to get it done." Right. I said, "All right, I'm not too mad at you though." But I was like, "Okay, we can do it." But I was like, "We got to start everything now,
like ASAP."
Yeah, because like everything has to have deposits put down for you to secure a reservation, especially large parties and stuff like that. So I was saying that to say I ended up having to tell them I couldn't make it because we were dress shopping with her on one day and she didn't like anything there, and then it's also appointment only. So I was calling around while we were there, and then they had somewhere tomorrow, like the next day to go to. So then everybody was like, what we go do with our job? So it was kind of easy.
Everybody don't have that flexibility.
Yeah.
I mean, of course you have the option of calling anywhere you work, but everybody can't just
do it like that. And then it's like your sick day. I mean, I guess for us with call-ins, is like we said, it's a certain amount, but
I think we take our job. Well, I'm not gonna say our. But being a nurse is kind of like you have a lot of flexibility. Like,
no, I love that. That's one of my favorite things.
I don't know if I ever want to. I've been thinking about the doctor's office here lately, but I'm like Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, like that. I haven't had that kind of structured job since I was in college. So it's like
I don't think I want to go back because I was trying to like decide what I want to do too, because I'm satisfied with where I'm at now, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm like not liking it anymore, and then I'm trying to figure out something. So I was kind of like try to think like ahead and try to see like, okay, what would I be okay with moving to next? But my dilemma is this is like I feel like the most flexible bedside option possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. That is so like what I need right now.
yeah. So this is gonna be perfect for you. But I was like, well, I'm gonna go to next. Like I don't know. And then I had looked into what you were talking about too with the clinics and stuff, and I'm like, I don't think I want to work every day.
Yeah, that just is not.
I think I might rather stay at the bedside than go to work every day.
But I'm so sick of the bedside. But there's so many options in nursing.
Yeah,
there's so many options. I'm just so.
I like
mentally depleted. Like you have this people being ungrateful. Like and they've been like really sick lately. Like they've been like like it's been a lot of rapids. At one point it was a cold every time I went to work. I'm like that.
Oh, I hate that.
That just like on your mental. You know how you
really
just get in the car and you just sit there, no music, just vibe. It's like,
oh Lord,
like what did I just?
What happened today? What did I do today? Did I eat?
Right.
No, that's when you get to like 5 o'clock and you like, did I pee today? Like,
Right. So you're just like reflecting on like
what happened?
you just give so much of yourself in nursing.
Yeah.
And people come home to like, well, you have a husband. You come home, you don't want to bring everything with you home. People have kids, they have to show up for their kids. Some people take care of their
Yes. And
parents.
it's
Like,
funny that you're talking about this because I literally was thinking about that before you came. And I was like, next time Alex come over, I want to talk about this with her. You brought it up anyway. I was like, is it kind of selfish to like, I feel like you said, as nurses, especially bedside, you give so much. Like emotional capacity is filled. And that's just at work. And then you got your friends, your
but you don't want to be a
significant
crappy
other.
friend.
Yeah, so it's like, how do you feel like showing up for other people, like as a nurse? Like, is it selfish for us to be like, girl, I can't?
I think that's when it comes to, I don't want to speak on marriage because I'm not married, but you have to have an understanding partner as well,
Well, yes.
because I mean, yeah, you don't want to bring it home with you, but sometimes that stuff affects you. Like
No,
you
for real.
cannot just you can't just walk in like, honey, I'm home. You
No,
can't.
at
It's like
all.
you gotta, also be real with the people. Like, I now put my phone on do not disturb at 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Like I'm like, I just want to like, and it may be to do nothing, girl, just to like, but it's just a
Time
time
to
of where I'm
yourself.
like, I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to be like, it's just a time. And I've been like on my spiritual journey lately. So I've been like, reading the Bible for myself. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because you're always people's interpretations or this is what the Bible says. And I've just, not to get like religious or
No, we're
anything
good.
like
This
that.
is what we do. I don't know if
But
you know,
I've been
like, I'm
doing,
very much church girl.
I don't think I knew that.
Yes, like not every day, but like it'd be like, oh, church doors open. Like me and my family was there, like sun up to the sunset. Like when they say Sunday's the Lord's Day, it was that.
You recently posted Bible study, and I was like, that is close to. I used to live on that side of Pearland, and
Oh
now I live on the
yeah,
other side. But I was like, I want to go,
girl, you
but y'all
should
have it. I have
go.
to work. It's only Tuesdays, right? Tuesday.
Oh yeah, it's the second Tuesday
Yeah,
of
I was
every
like, whenever
month.
I want to go, but um,
Yeah, it's fun. I like it, especially because I
yeah,
feel like old people, like they really just, I don't know. I think we younger people are just different. I feel like
yeah.
maybe the generation before us was kind of leaning. Of course, I guess it's how we are where we at now. But
We
my
testing the waters. We're like,
Yeah, I feel like my parents are more understanding than most people parents are, but I feel like that a lot of the older generation was very like
this is what you do. This is what you don't do.
condemning and like
Right.
making it seem like everything was perfect, but it's not. So it turned a lot of people off from church too because it's like, well, how am I supposed to do this? Like it's kind of impossible, but at the same time, if I show I'm human, then you criticizing me. But then it's like if you be trying to act holier than now, then you fake. So it's like which one
Right.
is it? And I feel like with us, like we're like
We like tatted up, but we would talk to you about God. Like, like
right,
we like this is
right.
the real. This is what
I
I'm
feel like
saying?
we like way more transparent. Like yes, I'm still trying, girl, but it's hard. Like the
Right.
Lord is working on me daily, and I mean that.
No, for real.
So my parents always had that like relationship with me and my brother where they were
You
like,
have one brother?
mm-hmm.
It's just you and your brother? It's like that for me too.
Oh,
Me and my
really?
brother are like this.
And he's younger than you.
No, my brother's older.
Oh, he's
My brother's
older.
yeah, I'm 29. My brother's 31.
Okay, I was gonna ask the age gap because me and my brother are 5 years apart. But I was telling Jordan about that too. I thought everybody was friends with their siblings, but
Girl,
apparently
that's
not.
another thing. Me and my brother are so close.
I didn't
and
know
some
that.
people
I thought that's how it's
do
supposed
not.
to be.
Yeah, but it's not. Like, and then everybody
That's
has different
sad.
traumas.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
so, but I was naive and thought everybody like I talk to my brother like if I'm not working, I talk to my brother every day. If I'm going to work, it's like he's like, "Hey, love you,"
Yeah.
like that's my dog. So like I
Like
don't
me and my brother
understand.
don't talk every day, but we cool. Like, and I mean, like it ain't nothing like to pick up the phone. It's fine. But I think we both kind of like them people that we not one of them that have to talk every day. Because sometimes I see Jordan and I be like, "Did I say hi to you today?"
Oh my gosh, does he have siblings?
Yeah, he has three.
Okay.
Yeah, so two. He's the youngest, so they're both older than him, but they're all real close too. I honestly just thought that's how it was until he was telling me like, nah,
No,
and
it's
I'm like,
not.
you're like, we like our families. Everybody don't like their family, and I'm like,
Right.
dang, that sucks. Can't relate.
But also, me and my brother, I'm an army brat. I don't know if you knew
Yeah, you
that.
did tell me that
Yeah,
before.
so at one point, both of my parents were in Iraq at the same time. So we got split up. My brother went to live on my mom's side, and I went with my dad's side. So when we before we were young at that time, we used to argue, sibling stuff.
Right, yeah.
But when we came back together, once my mom had came back from Iraq, we were like inseparable. So I
Well, I
think
can
that kind of
imagine that.
yeah.
Yeah, because it
So
kind of like that forced type of separation made you value like.
and I think just growing up and maturing and just but yeah, we're very
I
close.
agree. I agree.
We're like very close.
Yeah, I like that too. We gonna talk more, but now we're gonna get into bad scrubs. So this is the segment. I don't know if we did this last time you were here, where we talk about different nurses who've been criminally charged. I think we may have, right?
I think we did because Bad Scrubs is like ringing a bell. I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did. This is a segment for those who are new listening, where we talk about nurses who have been criminally charged with things. So this is back in last year on June 7th, 2022. This nurse name is Lacey Fries. I don't know how to pronounce it. Friis. I've never seen that before. Fries.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess it up.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I know two E's make the E sound like I'm going into phonetics. I'm like, I don't know about
But
two
sometimes
I's.
something don't even it's not pronounced how it appears. So.
That's true too. But she's a 39-year-old nurse, so she was seen using profanity and behaving unusually at work. So they were saying she allegedly showed signs that she couldn't focus and appeared to be falling asleep on the job. 2 weeks later, on the morning of June 23rd, she allegedly reported to work and behaved normally, but according to the board, she had been seen purchasing and consuming alcohol at a nearby grocery store at midday during the shift.
Wow.
So then she was sent home by management, and then they said that she was consuming alcohol again after work. So they charged her with excessive use of alcohol in a manner that might impair a nurse's ability to practice the profession with reasonable skill and safety. And so she agreed to surrender her license. I understand though. Well, I don't know what you was going through at home,
Yeah.
but I be
yeah.
seeing how people get there. Because sometimes at work, I'd be like, dang, if only I had a shot.
Everybody can't handle stress. Everybody doesn't handle stress the same way. Like I know people who are have since the pandemic, they are taking like psychiatric medications just to get through the shift. So people have their coping.
It's hard out here.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But she could have killed somebody.
No,
like
for
that.
real. I'm like, that's when you needed to call in, like how we were saying. When we call in for our mental health, that's why.
Right.
Because you ain't about to be having me.
Girl, every time I go against my call in, my shift be so bad. Like,
no, I feel like it's your gut telling you, like, dog, you don't need to go today.
The whole shift, you be like, I should have called in.
No, for real. So anytime I wake up and I be not feeling it, because there is, you could tell, I guess, after being a nurse for so long, if you, how to differentiate between you don't just want to go to work because you don't want to go to work versus like, it's probably not a good idea for me to go to work today.
I give me to like 1 o'clock and I be like, nah, baby, I'm finna go ahead and call these people because I'm not coming in.
No, for real. I think one time I woke up early and everything that morning. Sometimes if I wake up too early and I can't go back to sleep, I'll call in then too. Because then I know it's not going to be a good day because I'm going to be tired the whole shift.
So, okay, I work night shift. So day shift, about what time do y'all have to call in? Y'all gotta call in early.
I mean, they say at least 2 hours in advance, I guess, before it's like one of those things where it's like a late call-in type. I hate that they rank them. Girl, I'm not coming. Like, that's it.
I remember it was at our first job, a point system. Like, if it was
like how
half a point, a whole point.
Right,
it was
exactly.
like a point system. So.
And I think that I'm just so used to that now that I just try to avoid it. So like this week when I called in, it was like at 7 o'clock at night. But when I've called in before the time before that, I think it was like 3 or 4 o'clock. But I'm like, I'm not coming, so I don't care about it. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to be there, so don't look for me.
Like a little courtesy call.
Right.
Do what you need to do, shift some people around.
I'm sorry, I don't think you want me there. So it's funny that all this stuff that we were mentioning today kind of has been like my train of thought for the last couple of weeks, because the last time I was at work, did you watch my nurse Instagram story? When I was talking about how they gave me a heated half flow patient on the med surg unit and all that?
Yes.
Girl. And so then I was scheduled the next day, so I went back.
That was on a tele floor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
and y'all don't do that, then I don't need all these patients.
At this hospital. I was like, and they are a new conversion to that system. because that hospital used to be owned by somebody else. So I'm like, I don't know if you know, but this is not how we do stuff over here. But I'm there, like, they kind of did a local contract with me too, because they'll kind of do that sometimes with the float pool, is that they'll know that a unit is short for a period of time, so they'll just put you there. And they kind of did let me know, but I hadn't had any bad experiences there. So I'm like, that's cool, because normally it's a low acuity. And I'm like, if it's 5 patients low acuity, I really don't care, especially after what we've been through. So I was like, all right. But then both them shifts, I felt like I was getting two-pieced. I said, look, I can't. So, okay, I had days off. Then I went back for one shift. And that one, too, was another one that was kind of like, are y'all trying to play in my face? Like, what is this? And I was like, I was telling my friends, I was like, I feel like I need like a good week off or something.
Just to kind of regather, regroup.
Right. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm irritable. I don't know. I was like, I'm just not here for it. Lo and behold and lo, I ended up having a week off on accident because we had called in for that dress fitting. So I was like, look at God. Because he knew
that you needed that.
No, for real. Because now I'm like, all right, I feel like I can go back to work now. I don't know. I think sometimes just occasionally, I don't feel like I was even overworking. So that's kind of odd that I feel like I needed that. Because I'm like, compared to how I used to work before, I'm like, I don't work that often.
You used to pick up a lot of overtime at our first job?
Like for that first year, I did not pick up overtime. And then occasionally I would here and there. During the pandemic, then I was working like a lot because I didn't feel like there was nothing else to do. So I was doing that. But then after how I saw the consequences of that, I was like, all right, let me back off. And then after that, I was kind of doing like sometimes like every other week or 1 week in a month, I'll pick up overtime. But like since I got this job, I've not been doing overtime like at all. If anything, I've been working less because I'm compensated more.
Right.
So I was like, okay, that's the advantage of that. But then I kind of fell into the dilemma of, am I like squandering resources by not like I have the ability to work. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not doing nothing at home. Like, should I go ahead and work? I'm like, I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, if you're like financially in a good place, like, that's another reason why I work out and stuff. It's just like,
Mentally.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think nothing's wrong with it. Because then you pick up them days, you be like, I don't want to be here. Like, you know? And then it'd be that on your extra shift or your shift is just terrible.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not even been working full time. And I feel like I needed that. Like this schedule, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do full time hours because I had been. But I was like
3 shifts a week.
Yeah, but I was saving money for random stuff. I don't really got nothing to pay for at this moment in life, to be honest. But eventually we go start trying to have kids. So I was putting away for that. But I'm like, that's not a necessity. But yeah. I be kind of teeter-tottering. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, like where we feel like we have to work, or like how society is now.
I was talking to my brother about that because I was like, I feel lazy not doing anything. And he was like, especially as Black people, it's like, why are you sitting down? Like, it's considered lazy. Like, it's okay to just, do nothing.
Girl.
But when I do nothing, I'll be like, oh, I feel lazy.
I know, and I'll be like, there's not a reason. And then I think, too, I compare it today to, like, my past self, and I'm like, I used to work way more than this, and I was cool. Like, why I can't do that now? All right, then I was like, but did I work that hard then so I could do this now? So I kind of teeter-totter.
I feel you. I feel what you're saying. I'm just like, girl, even my little 3 shifts, I'd be like, I don't want to do, that's why I like 2 shifts a week for me.
I'd be like, I don't know. Sometimes I'd be like, girl, you need to get up and go to work. And then I'd be like, why?
So you do strictly day shift now, right? All you do is day shift. What would you, what is your preference?
Days.
Just because mental or is just?
Yeah, I mean, the workload on nights is great compared to days. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Of course, pros and cons with everything. So I guess it just depends on you as a person. Because I feel like on days, at least it'll go by fast. I feel like there was a lot of nights where I'm like, girl, are we still here? And then I'm dead at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning trying to get a report. I'm like, I don't know what's happened today. I don't know what time it is. Like, I just got to get home. So I think now for me, days because of the mental space, and I definitely remember being crankier on nights for sure.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, and then at least it's a good pacing today, and even when it is a slower day on day, I feel like a slower day on day is like an average night shift. So my shifts always go by like pretty at a pretty good pace. Like the beginning and the end is always gonna be the busiest, and then after that it's kind of like, okay, you might go for a test or you might go here. I might discharge and get an admission. So it's kind of like, all right, it's work.
We feel like you when you were on nights, it was like a strain on your marriage, like because you'd be sleep all the time, or
I didn't feel like it with that, but he did say that I had like an attitude more on night, and then it was hard too because then you're trying to meet familial commitments. Like both of us are very like family oriented, so our family is always doing stuff. So then I was like, they've been knowing me for a while, but still, you know how when you need to have a certain personality attitude when you go around other people's family,
right?
instead of like,
Just like I don't want to be here.
right, because then you give off that energy and people be like, what's wrong with you? Whereas at least if it's my family, they just know like, oh, she fine, ain't nothing wrong with her. So then my family be like, oh, hey, Lenicia, hey. But then like when you going around other people's family, I don't like to be like that.
It's kind of rude.
Yeah, I feel like that. And then I feel like you give off that type of energy. So I guess, yeah, in some ways, he's very understanding. So that goes back to the whole partner thing. And I'll have to work on like communicating like I ain't up to it today type of thing. But then it's also not even like other people's perception of you too. Sometimes you get your own guilt. Like you keep not going to stuff. Like how does that look?
Yeah. It's like, dang, she do not want to be here.
Yeah, it's like, dang, so you don't want to be involved. You ain't trying to be a part. Like, or even with your own family. You like, dang, I ain't seen my mama in a month.
Right.
Like, I don't like that.
Right.
So it's definitely easier to keep up with your family and stuff on days. And especially like we said, with this job that I have, I'm able to literally move my schedule around if somebody got something going on.
So do you go to like just one, or you go to hospitals within the hospital system? Like, or just one location, or is it?
No, it's 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and you get to choose your locations. Of course, some of it is like based off of like what openings they have at the time and where they more so need people at. So there's that. And then like when I first started though, they used to like rotate me a lot between the 3 hospitals. But now it's like I've been at one for like a month. And then like the next month I might be somewhere else for like another month.
Okay.
So it kind of like goes back and forth. But I remember when I first started, it'll be like one week and I'll go to 3 different hospitals. So it's kind of like, because at first I got tired of that too. Right when I got tired of it, then it shifted to this. So I was like, okay. But now I feel like y'all need to know me like that because I don't like how y'all been doing me lately. I'm like, girl, how you know that I know how to do this?
Sometimes, because I've noticed this, because when I get to a unit, I don't say anything. I don't try to act like I know it all. But once they know your skill, they'll start giving you like the complex patients. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering with my case. I'm like, are they remembering me because I've been here? And that's why I started getting these weird assignments where I have to say something about, because I was like, this was not like this before. But I still feel like, and I was asking my friend this too, I feel like you should give your staff nurses, the people whose skill set you know, those type of patients. I feel like you really don't know me to be giving me this. It could be unsafe.
But also sometimes too is they're like giving the float pool the patients they don't want, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, or like the difficult, like the guy who want nothing but his Dilaudid and cuss everybody out. Nobody else
Girl,
want him. So.
and honestly, them type be fine with me because I already know what you want.
Right.
You just want your pain medicine? All right, I'll come in here every 3 hours. Don't even call me. I got my timer set for you. We good. Because then he ain't gonna want nothing else. You getting cussed out because you ain't bringing him his pain med. So just bring him the pain med. And don't be arguing with the man about how you ain't in pain. I just be like, here, you got it on your MAR. You got it on your MAR here. Goodbye. You could talk to pain management if they don't have it scheduled appropriately. And I started telling them that because I'm like, I don't need that on me. Hey, if you got any problems, you talk to your doctor. They the ones that put the orders in. And that's how I tell them. Make sure you let them know. I
definitely set the law when I come in. Like, look, you respect me and I respect you.
Yeah. So I be fine with those.
I don't be having problems with them. Like I said, I'll take them. But like, I was just giving an example
Right,
of like what
exactly.
they give flow pool because they don't
Yeah.
want to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, is that what it's given now? Because it wasn't like that before. So I'm not sure what they're doing behind like that. And then I'm like, now I'm doing talking a lot. Because at first I come in there, I'm not really talking to much anybody. I said, hey, or whatever, go to my little computer in the hallway.
Right.
And that's it. But now y'all starting to mess with me. So now I'm like,
Now
what
I
is
gotta say
this?
something. Now I gotta be that nurse, but I don't
Yeah,
care.
and that's why I feel I'm like, dang, I don't want to be doing all this. And then all the other vocal people, I was talking to them because it's a lot at the hospital, so I guess they're really short.
Yeah.
I'm like, do y'all be saying anything or have y'all gotten assignments like this? And they be like, yeah, but you know how it is. And I'm like, no, I don't know how it is.
Okay, now that's something that patient crashed. Now that's on my license.
And that's how I feel about it. And does the money, is that
Is it worth?
warranted
Yeah.
for more difficult? I'm already going out of my way, but not being like really apart, I feel like, and driving all the way over here. So I'd be like, I don't know. I needed a break. And I got it.
In conclusion.
Right, I got it. Because I was like, I don't like this. And like, I don't be playing. I be calling my manager, but I don't like getting up in a tizzy. Like, I don't like being like that. But I'm like, I can, but I don't want to. And you don't want me to either. I'm like, trust me.
Because there's always that nurse that no matter what assignment they get, they're complaining. So I don't want to be that person. But again, when you feel like your license is being challenged, it's like, look, and on flow pool, so y'all not even gonna care. I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying?
I'm on my own, like, and I'm like, ain't nobody here that got my back. So
Right.
yeah, so that's why I'm like, I really don't like that. Or if nobody feels like obligated to try to come and help you.
Right, because you're not. Well, it's a little different in your situation, but I'm not staff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
But even still, they still kind of feel like the same type of vibe. Where it's like you here, like you with us, but you're not really with us. And one of the other nurses was complaining about that to me before, but it wasn't at this location. It was somewhere else, and I wasn't really seeing what she was saying because it wasn't unsafe like type of stuff. It was just like you just need to learn how to manage your time better. But this, I'm like, y'all pushing it. Y'all know I got IMU experience.
Oh yeah, because
I did not tell y'all that.
unless you tell them, yeah.
I did not tell them that. So why would you do this? All them patients was like, IMU. I'm like, why are they here?
It's been like that lately though. Like I'm like, people are just sick. Lord, I'm just like thinking about my last shift was so terrible. Oh man, now they're getting six patients.
Med surge.
It's telly, but it's like they're like IMU patients. But this is like a smaller hospital, so it's like the IMU's full, the ICU's full.
I hate that. That's why I hate small hospitals sometimes. Because like the lack of resources, I feel like.
Yeah. There's what I do, like they always have an on-call NP at night, so she's in hospital. Yeah. But and then at night it's just like during the day when there's a cold or something, it's a lot of resources.
Yeah, it
there.
is. Like a whole team is coming through.
So the point was like, if you're not part of the patient's care, please, because at that
get out the room.
Once it starts getting so full in there, you can't even like. It's just like
it's just too much going on.
Right.
I'm always that one to leave. Cause I'm like, y'all good? All right. What? Like, sometimes I don't even go. I'm like, it's 10 people in there.
Like,
it's
somebody else on the floor crash. Who watching them?
I've had that happen before. Literally.
I feel like we're just like, how long now? 5.5 years. But I feel like I've seen so much.
No, definitely. It's definitely a lot. That's why, I'm like, I don't know if it's like the combination of everything or what. But maybe I need to start doing how I used to do. I said I was going to get back to like trying to have like more consecutive days off. Where like, I think it was like every couple of months I would do that just so that I can get an extended type of break. So I think I'm going to have to cycle that back through because I was outdone the last couple of times. But I think I'm okay to go back now.
Until you go back and you be like, here we go again.
The crazy thing is I don't care about like the medical issues. Like I can do that. Like I'm fine with that. It be like us that be getting on my nerves. Like why you don't understand, Susan. Yeah. I be like, who put this assignment together? Like, this doesn't make sense. And I'm like, not me having to go up here. I got to pause night shift from trying to give me a report for
Right.
me to come talk to
I'm like,
you.
wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, but
What is this, Linda? Then I
not.
be, then I kind of be trying to like, okay, well, I don't want to get screwed over. So should I just take what I know, like, then get something else? Like, I feel like sometimes they be doing that too, where they be like, oh, okay, well, then we'll take this one off, but we give you this one
Yeah.
instead. And I'm like,
Not an assignment worse than what you.
yeah. So I just be like, what am I supposed to do, bro? Like, give me a regular
But the
patient,
max y'all get
please.
is 5.
Yeah, at this one, yeah.
Okay.
That's why I say I'd be like, I can do it, but I'd be like, I've been to other places now, so my standard is like a little bit higher because I compare it to the other hospitals in the system, it's not that. So I'd be like, y'all need to get up to par with everybody else because y'all behind. I'm like, this is not HCA. Do it right. Do it right.
When you go, like when I was traveling, when you go on the like travel sites, they like slander HC. Like,
Hey,
slander.
it raised us. I'm a better nurse for it. So I'd be like, I understand the hate, but I'd be like, hey, if I hadn't been through that, man.
Yeah, because when I was my assignment in Dallas, that hospital system, like the stuff they would complain about, I would be like
This is
this is
great.
nothing. This is nothing. I don't even. I mean, and you don't have to struggle. You don't have to start at a hospital like that.
Right.
But it just prepares you for like you
The
be equipped and ready. Especially since we
yeah.
started like IMU gives
Yeah.
you like that because sometimes they were so sick they were basically ICU. And
Yeah.
they were like cross training us at one point. We started to take more of the ICU drips and all of that stuff. So I'm thankful for that experience. And it was the coworkers that I really missed though. Like we still like are in contact on Facebook and stuff. But I think that made it better because at night we were like a little family.
That's
So
how I felt about ours too. And I was telling my other friend who used to work with me, I was like, looking back at it now, I feel like there was a lot more competent nurses there. And I guess because we had to be, than some of the other places I go now, I'd be like, y'all don't know how to do that, or y'all don't know,
I was
like, y'all didn't
yeah.
think about this like that or type of thing. Like, they kind of like not as proficient to me in comparison. But I think it
Yeah.
might be because we had to be.
That too. Yeah, I've worked with some nurses where like they kind of like scared me. Like
Yeah.
that they might kill somebody.
I felt like that too
That sounds
before.
very morbid,
But it's
but
true sometimes. You be like concerned. Like, are you okay?
like I would be so concerned if I was a family member. Like, yeah, I don't like to I don't know, but it's just like not competent. Like
I understand the family member
that's a whole different
energy.
subject though.
Yeah, I understand the family member energy because I'd be like, sometimes I'd be talking to people or overhear stuff and I'd be like, what?
You don't want
Girl.
to come off like rude, but it's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. So last time, like we were saying, you coined the term pre-shift anxiety. And that was my first time hearing about it. All right. Did you make that up?
no, like people talk about it like on nurse
I
TikTok
had
and
never heard of it before until you came by last time and said it. And I was like, you know what? I think I've had that before.
yeah, it's like a thing.
So can you tell the people who didn't listen last time, what does that mean to you?
So pre-shift anxiety, mine like appears in different ways. Like I noticed that I was getting to work like super late and I didn't care. And it was just like, I guess kind of like I don't know, like I guess delaying on like what I'm about to walk into or like just sitting in the it really was really bad when I was a new grad. When I was a new grad, of course I was punctual. I would get to work early so I could like look up all my patients, all that stuff. Something I would not do now. I'd be like, "Are you giving me a report? Okay, just tell me the basics." And I just take they have
Yeah.
cardexes. I just take the cardex. I'm like, yeah, during the day they don't. I mean, sometimes at night, like lately, I haven't been able to sit down and actually read.
Through the charts.
Yeah, through the notes and all that stuff. But when I was a new grad, I should just sit in the car. Like it was just like an overwhelming feeling. Like, what am I gonna walk into? Like that's mainly what it is. What am I walking into?
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that I just have it, but I had it on my travel assignment. That was a difficult IMU. And then people were dying left and right. So I'm like, somebody gonna die on me today?
Yeah.
Like, that's when I don't know if you remember me saying I took like a like a break. I took I didn't work all last summer. It was like 3 or 4 months. I just
Yeah,
did
I did
not
remember
work.
you telling me that because right around the time you told me that, somebody else told me they did the same thing, and I'm like, how y'all affording to do this? Because
Travel.
maybe I want to try to.
It's
Like,
travel nursing. I was like, I don't think that money is ever coming back. But yeah, that was great. That was excellent money. So that's why. And I was also saving a lot of it. Because I kind of knew that I wanted to take a break, but it wasn't going to be 4 months, maybe like two or
right,
3 weeks. But
right.
um, yeah, that's how I was able to afford it. But I was like, I felt kind of lazy, but girl, my mental was like so clear. I wasn't on the night shift schedule, so yeah. I don't really have pre-shift anxiety. It's more so like I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, so I'm like I get to work. I try not to be like ridiculously late, but it's like I don't know. That's why I've solidified my decision in going back to school. I just think my court, like I've just bedside is just kind of
You're
not.
it's just not for
Yeah.
you anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like I was saying earlier, I was trying to think about what I wanted to do, and I'm like, it's not that I don't like bedside. I think I just need like I think with different things going on in your life or like however your mental state is at the time, sometimes you just need to adjust accordingly.
Mhm.
Because every time when I go back, like I like going to work. I don't mind passing meds, doing labs, like any of the stuff that we have to do. I don't mind doing
Mhm.
it. So I'd be like, it's not that. I think it's just like I think I just needed a break, basically, to mentally prepare or fortify my mind for the BS that we go through. Because I
Mhm.
think I'd be getting into like internal struggles with like why we gotta deal with this or like why is this like this or who made this okay and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
So much falls on the nurse.
Yeah,
Like.
and I feel like sometimes I'm like, I can't, it's like you can only do so much in that position. So then that's when
Mhm.
I get like, kind of like, not discouraged, but over it. Cause I be like, man, we can't even do nothing about this. No, no, no. Like you could
Mhm.
talk all day long, but until like, it's like the precedent is set, like this needs to be like this. Nothing is really
Mhm.
going to make a everlasting change. Especially since I'm like, someone that moves around. I'm like, I'm not gonna go to this unit and change the whole unit and how they do their dynamics and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's more like I have to assimilate to whatever their culture is. So I think for me, with this past situation, I was just kind of like, I don't like it.
Mhm. I really don't
I don't
like
like that.
that. Yeah.
But as far as pre-shift anxiety goes, I feel like I've had that.
I was gonna ask, do you have?
I don't have it now because, like I said, I
Mm.
don't mind the work. But I think maybe with these last few shifts, where I was kind of like how you were saying, like you getting there, like what the hell I'm getting myself into today?
Mhm.
Like, all right, am I ready for this? But I've definitely had it before where I'm like, I don't know what I gotta do, but I gotta do something to get myself in the mood to go into this building. And I think
Mhm.
all them codes, like you said, and all them rapid responses, because I've been in that place too, where literally it was like a month, and every day at work
Mhm.
it was like
Somebody's
something, and it
declining.
was like this is crazy, and I'm like
Mhm.
one of the stronger nurses, so then like people are looking to me like, oh, like what are we gonna do? And I'm like,
Mhm.
girl, I don't know. I just be making stuff up.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm there now, so that's good, but I felt that before. I don't
Mhm.
like that either. It's hard because our job is already hard. So you dealing with that too just makes
So
it even
hard.
more difficult.
Mhm.
So how did you get to a place where you didn't really have it anymore going into work, or what did you do to combat it?
Just kind of like experience, like, um, back then I wasn't like confident in my skill, like, so I just think experience, time, and I've found like outlets now, like working out really, really helps me. Like during, I'm like, ugh, but after I be like, I can do any, like, I just feel so much better.
Yeah.
Like, I like to start my day with a workout. I like to work out in the morning. And then also, I've been in therapy just as long as I've been working out. So,
Oh, so the
um,
combination definitely is
mm-hmm.
like a
Yeah. And then
twofer.
I don't know what clicked. It's like when I turned 29, I was just like, I have to do something different.
Mm.
Like, I have to do something. They say like true change doesn't start until you get tired of your own ish. And I feel like I was like, girl, you always complaining about you start workout and you stop working out.
Mm.
So also another thing is I am paying for this. This is the most money I've ever invested in myself.
Mm.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to do this because it costs too much. And I'm like, you can't really put a price on, like,
Health.
yeah, your health. And I'm going to be
In your
very appreciative.
mentality, mental health,
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
That's true too. I was reading. I like to read financial stuff. I don't know why.
Like, that's your preference of, like, books?
No, no, not to actually read, but like
Oh.
on like YouTube, like sometimes they'll have like little 10-minute stuff about like how to save this amount or whatever. I don't really need that, but I just like to see like what other people
It's
say.
intriguing for you.
Yeah, or like other people like financial tips or tips for success, like stuff like that. Not an actual book. I don't want to read
I
that.
was like,
It's
girl,
too
you be reading
much.
financial
No,
books?
I'm not that deep into it. I need a little quick TikTok or Instagram reel or YouTube 10 minutes, that's it. Then I'm like, all right. My preference in books is like I like rom com. Basically, what I watch: rom com,
Do you read,
horror, inspirational
it's like
books.
Colleen Hoover or Colleen, everybody reads them. Like,
What's the name of the
her
book
name,
called?
I don't even, it ends with us. I think that's the one I just bought.
I haven't read that. What
I
kind of
could be
book is
saying,
that?
it's like, I don't really even know. Like, this one is about like a girl who, um, girl, I don't even know, but it's very popular. It's very, when I go home and I like,
Okay,
because
yeah,
it's
send
on
me
my
a
counter.
picture. Yeah, send
Yeah.
me a
I could be
picture.
messing up her name too, but I think it's Colleen.
Like once I watched the first Bridgerton show, I bought like all the books and I read those.
It's a, I didn't even know it was a book. I just thought it was a,
It's books first, and it's based off the books. But Shonda, she did her own little thing too.
oh,
She added
okay.
a little razzle dazzle, but it's like 7 books or something because it's one for each kid. That's why people. I don't know if you read stuff on Facebook and stuff like that, but people will say like, "Oh, it's gonna be this story next." It's because yeah, it's like a whole series of
Oh,
books.
okay. I'm not even into Bridgerton. Everybody's the Queen Charlotte. Is that like a spinoff of Bridgerton?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a
Everybody been
character
watching
that's
that.
in Bridgerton. That yeah, they did a focus basically series on. It's good, but if you don't like Bridgerton, then you're not gonna like
Yeah,
it.
I fell asleep. I tried to watch it like twice, and I just knew it wasn't for me.
I'm
I was
screaming.
like, if I try to watch something and I keep falling asleep, I
Then that's
know
how
that
you
I'm not.
know. I feel
Yeah,
like that
because
too
I'm
because I
usually
don't
like,
do
if I'm
that.
not, if it doesn't catch my attention, I'll give it like to episode 2. But if I keep falling asleep, I'm like, I'm not gonna force. I'm
No,
not
that's
gonna
how I
force.
am too because I can always tell, especially like with scary movies because I like that. I always used to tell Jordan if somebody doesn't die in the first 5 minutes, like I'm turning it off.
You like scary movies?
No, I do.
You know what I'm saying? You like them? I don't like scary movies. I just feel I'm like, why am I paying to be scared? Like,
I
I
don't
don't want
know
to
why.
watch
It's
this.
I don't know. That is a weird feeling. Like, why do you want to feel tense? Like that is weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it's like going on a roller coaster.
Like anticipating the next thrill or the.
Yeah, like I don't know what word I was gonna say. It's like the anticipation, like you said, like when you going up that big hill, you like, oh crap, like what's gonna happen?
When you
Like,
get to the
yeah,
yeah,
you're like,
okay,
what they about
that
to
is
do?
how like.
Like, so that's how I be feeling. So I like it. But how did we get on books and stuff?
um, how did we? Just that's how it happened last time. We was about this, and then we just.
I don't remember how we even got here. I remember we were talking about different stuff that had helped you overcome the anxiety and something like that.
And then I
Dang,
said,
I don't remember how we got here.
you started talking about financial.
Yes. Why did I start talking about that? That's crazy.
Do you know who the Budgetnista is? She
Look at
like
her.
no,
We're going down another rabbit hole.
no, because she's financial. But it's like
It's on
it's
Instagram.
like she is on Instagram. I have her. Speaking of financial books, I have her book, but I have not read it. But I follow her on Instagram and stuff like that. She's kind of gives like financial literacy, especially to like minorities, like Black people, because for the most part we don't grow up knowing about like
Yeah, different
half the stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna check her out. My mom, she made me do classes on that type of stuff. Like sometimes, like
Really?
during the summer, during the summer, I always had to do something type of educational. So I remember one time I did one, Black Mama for you.
That's how I'm laughing.
Yeah, she had me do one where we had, I think I was like 13. We had to learn how to sign checks and like do budgets and all this other stuff. So that actually, I forgot that I did that. So that might be why I'm good at it today. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, like why you doing it? Be like, my mom was so extra, and then down the line, cause I have like military parents. My
Oh, yes.
dad, my mom was, yeah, she was very structured, and I'm very appreciative of her now. But back then, me and my brother used to be like, oh my god.
I told my dad the same thing because my dad used to always make me and my brother do 1, 3, and 5 year plans. And I'd be like,
Dang,
Daddy, why?
But that's beneficial to you now.
But
But
no,
back
for
then,
real.
I would have been like,
No, I was like, why? Why are we doing this?
Right.
With see us now, we become parents. We may explain. It was just do it. All right,
Right.
just do
Because I
it. Do
said
it. Yeah, do
so.
what I tell you to do.
You're like,
Okay.
okay, whatever.
I can't remember how we were getting on the financial stuff. I don't because this is not based off of what you saying that you were able to afford the thing. This must
I
have
was
been a
talking
different
about
point.
therapy.
Oh, that's why. Because I was reading something and it was this guy's his financial tips because of how to spend money, and he was saying that there is no price that you could put on your health, and I was like,
That's what.
huh. Oh,
No,
I never thought of it
seriously.
that way, but
Yeah.
that is true because I've done the same thing. I've bought workout plans and other stuff before too, but I'm always kind of like, do I really want to pay for this or not? But I'm like, that's crazy to think of like that when you be paying whatever to eat and like,
Once you sit down, well, I don't know if you cook a lot, but once you sit down, at one point I was like, I probably cooked like twice in a month. And I was,
dang,
yes, it was like that bad at one point. And I was like, girl,
this is too much.
you are spending too much money. And then,
No, let's be
yeah,
honest. We cook better than the food they serving nowadays. Hey, get you some recipes off Pinterest
right,
and try it. I'm
TikTok,
just telling you. Because
half the
now I be
time,
going
yeah.
out. It has to be fine dining.
I really love kava. Like kava be hitting every time.
I haven't
But
been there before.
you never do you like Chipotle? But it's a little different. Chipotle gives like a healthy Mexican alternative.
Yeah.
Kava is like Mediterranean. So
I probably like
yeah.
it. I feel like unless it's like one of them hole in the wall places that really like some down, like you getting in there like home cooking type stuff, or if it's like fine dining. Everything else in the middle is kind of like mediocre. I feel like, and I'm like I could have
Right.
saved my little coins and tried to do this at home. That's how I feel nowadays.
Yeah,
So
and you really don't know who he like as I'm on my like spiritual journey and everything, and like you don't know who's preparing your food, like you know what I'm saying, like for
yeah,
health reasons and just like I don't know.
my mom used to always cook for us, so I was just kind of already used to that. So it was like we didn't eat out that much at all. So I was like, I need to get back to my roots. Like they did pave the way for me. I ain't gonna hold them. I just didn't know what they were doing at the time. And then when I
Yeah.
did my own thing, and I'm like, dang, you spent a lot of
It
money.
seems
Dang, I've gained
a
weight.
lot of like your childhood is like you didn't realize what they were doing then, but you're like appreciative of it now.
Yeah, but I feel too, maybe if you would have said something, then we could have
Right.
connected it a little bit earlier.
Right.
Like
Do
my
this
mama
because I
was
said so.
portion controlling us. I thought you was just being mean. Like,
Yeah.
that perspective is a whole different thing. Because I was telling, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, I'm kind of grateful for like you said, a lot of the stuff they did. And I look back on it. My mom would not play with me and my brother. First of all, we had to drink water. We didn't have no junk
Oh
food in the
yeah.
house. It was not none of them games. Then we did have snacks, but you could only have this many snacks. Like we could only have 5 Oreos. Like I remember being like,
Really?
yeah, like she,
Mama didn't play about soda and stuff.
yes,
I
yeah,
love water and I'm appreciative because mama did. We went out to eat and like if we got me and my brother used to get Shirley Temples. So
oh yeah, me
like
too.
so like my mom they would like, you know, the waiter comes around like, would you like another? Me and my brother would look at my mom like,
Like, can
please.
I?
My mom would
Yeah.
be like, you better savor that because you get water next. And I'm very
And I
thankful now.
did, I did. So now I'd be like, now when back to like the health stuff, it's like now when you keep eating like that, girl, I'd be like not feeling good on the inside. Like, okay,
And
I'm
that also
sluggish.
goes back into like your mental, like when you eat and you're not working out. I feel like this is the clearest mentally I've been in a very long time.
I
Like,
feel like, hey, I don't know. And then I think this is to your point too, because it's weird. Because I feel like open spiritually. I don't know why. When I work out, I think it's because I be fighting for my life, and I be like, I can't do this no more. This all you got. Like,
you but don't you have a garden or something
uh
like
huh.
that? Is that therapeutic for you?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I'm like, look at her. When I get a house, I want a little garden.
I want to make it bigger, so I'm looking into do that. At first, I was trying to do it like, I was like, ooh, maybe I can spend it now. And my cousin was like, nah, just wait. I said, fine. Every time I want to do something, I'm like, I want to do it now.
Oh, you're like that? Like,
yeah, I'm like, why not do it now? Let's just go do it. No. So we're like, okay, I already have my stuff in there now. It's growing. It's doing good. But I did like that. When I was younger, I always wanted to be like on a farm and like have my own stuff type of things. I don't know where that came from. I think I was reading too many books. But I could always be like, oh, I got my animals. And I was wanting chickens, but Jordan was like, the HOA or whatever. I said, all right.
Chickens? I recently just told my mom, like, I want to get into riding horses. My stepdad has some horses. And I don't know. Like, I just want to ride. Like, I'm tapping. So my mom is from Louisiana. And, like, we have, like, it's country.
I know a lot of people from there, too.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. But it's like country people are just so, like,
down to earth and humble.
And like, I don't know, like we go around the horses, like I'm having a good time. And I'm
just like, you should do it. And I feel like all this kind of goes back to like helping us go through work is like fulfilling ourselves in like the other areas in life. It fills our tank in order to give back, or because we do give so much. So I feel like maybe if we not pouring successfully into our tank, that we don't have anything to like put out, or enough patience sometimes, because I feel like I was more patient. I can notice now, like, oh, like today's not a good day for me, right? Because at first I just thought I was impatient, period. But I think like sometimes when I'm like in a better headspace, I'm like, well, look at me taking the time to re-explain what I already said 5 times.
Right? Yeah, I do notice that. When it is that time of the month for me, I notice I am so snappy. Like, okay, if you were listening, I said that already. Or the patient. And then also, you know, when you have patients with dementia, it's like they're a kid. They're like a kid, and you don't want to be snappy, but
yeah. I be calling my little people. I be like, come on, Pawpaw, sit down.
I like when they're pleasantly confused.
I love that. They're like, the sweetest. They're the sweetest when they're pleasantly confused. It be the mean people. I be like, why are you so hateful, bro? Just I feel like it's like something in their spirit, you know? Like their spirit is just not, you wasn't doing right how you supposed to. Because you holding on to something from back then.
You need to get to a better space. It definitely comes out.
My friend said that too.
If they're racist, they can't hide it.
That's crazy. I feel like that'd be like your true nature.
Right.
Like when you confused.
Right.
Because you don't have like those other barriers or like societal pleasantries to tell you like don't say that or don't do this.
They revert back to when they were like kids. So like, of course, if they were racist then.
But that's okay. Learn and grow, I guess. Now you know, you shut up, keep that on the inside. So before we close today's episode, we're going to scrub and sip. Do you have anything that you want to scrub from your nursing experience, our community, or anything that we talked about today? A negative experience you want to get rid of?
A negative experience? I think I pretty much, the one I had talked about when I was a brand new nurse, how that patient ended up, it wasn't my fault, but the patient ended up passing away. But I told you that story.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You told us that last time.
Yeah, that's just like one thing that just sticks out. Because, I just knew I was going to lose my license.
Yeah, when you told me that story, I was like, wow, that's crazy. If y'all want to hear about that story, go back to our last episode, and she explains everything there.
A negative experience? I can't really say that here lately.
Because you've been in that good headspace.
Right.
So your sips is really going to be good.
Yeah, I used to say, like, this is something positive, that I wish I would have did pharmacy. I was like, why did I choose nursing? But nursing is, like, lately I've been having a lot of people, like, give me my flowers. Like,
I love
patients, that. You know? And I had a patient tell me last time I was at work, which was 2 days ago. She was like, are you married? I was like, no, I'm not married. She was just like, or do you have kids? And I was like, no. And she was like, you're very, like, she was like, she said, like, methodical. Like, I have like, everything I do is with purpose.
I like that.
She was like, whenever you have kids, you're going to be a great mom. You're just her husband is in and out of the hospital. He's bedbound. He has Parkinson's, and she was just like he doesn't really take to people. He's really taken to you, and usually he gets Parkinson's. You have the tremors, and he's like
Right.
he has not been tremors. She's like even when I drew blood from him, she was just basically giving my flowers.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
I had another patient pray with me, and he was like, "This woman is walking in her purpose, and we
Come
need more
on,
nurse."
prayer.
So
You better
I
speak on
think
my life.
right. So I was like, okay, and then I love how nursing is just like so flexible. So I'm like, it's been little tidbits like, yes, I did choose the right career.
That's great. And I feel like the whole thing kind of like ebbs and flows where there's like periods of time where it's like, what the heck? But then it's kind of like periods of time where it's like, okay, I did this for a
Yeah.
reason and this is why I did this. And
Yeah,
I
those
was telling
little.
people that sometimes you get those patients, you be like, this is why I chose this career. It's because of you.
Right.
So I'm grateful for those moments too. Like I told you, I honestly, it's never really the patience for me because I'd be like, I think more understanding because I'm like, okay, even though you in pain, you shouldn't say that, but I understand how you could get to this point. So I'm kind of like, all right, it'd be more so us that be getting on my nerves, but I'm like,
I
I'm
could
going to
talk
move.
hours about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to move forward because I
Right.
can't change what I can't change.
That's another thing that I've really been weighing in. Like this 12 hours is gonna go by. I'm gonna do what I can.
And that's it.
Right.
And I think it's like I said before, kind of like the internal struggle where you want to implement change, but not in a position to do so. That kind of makes it more frustrating because you can see how it can be, but this is where we are today. So I think that's kind of like where I be getting frustrated with. But some things are just how they are until, I mean, certain, like I said, the precedent is set that this is how we need to be, and that's not gonna take effect for a long time. Like, because that's just what the standard is at the moment. So it's like you have to operate within what you have.
Right.
I don't know how I said it. I think I said it right.
I'm understanding. I'm understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you can't change like the whole thing, but there is something that you could do with your day or like wherever you are in that time and space to make that more smooth.
Like basically like I know what you're saying. Like I can't do anything to change this right now, so I'm gonna just do what I can in this
Yeah.
moment. Rather.
Yeah. And I think that some time away.
Are you gonna dwell on it? Yeah.
Yeah, time, space, and perspective. I think that's what my daddy be saying. It allows you to look at situations and be like, okay. So I'm in a better headspace now. So I'm cool with going back to work. Plus, I got this wedding and stuff to pay for it.
So it's your brother that's getting married.
It's his sister.
Okay.
Yeah, the oldest one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got purpose. I think sometimes you need purpose to go back to work too. Remember how I was
Right,
saying,
yeah,
like, I didn't really feel like I didn't pay for that then. I got it to do. Like, I'm good. So now I'm like, okay, when I have a hard day, I'm be like, this is for the wedding.
Right.
This is for my dress.
Weddings are exciting.
Yeah, I like that.
When
Like
it's a true,
joyous
like
occasions.
yeah, you know that these two people really love each
I
other.
like times of celebration. I'm always down for a party. I feel
I
like
just love
life
family.
is so short. I'd be like, let's celebrate today because we still here. Like,
You're right. She said she want to get married in October, so
period.
look.
October is gonna happen. I say less. Just tell me what you
Right.
want. So hopefully you guys today enjoyed today's episode. I don't know what I just said, but I think I said that right. I was trying to say hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was nice having Alex back on with us. If she want to come back, she come back when she wants.
It's always so chill. Like I don't
Yeah.
have a problem. I'd be like, dang, she do stay far, but you know what? I'm gonna pull up.
One day I'll bring the tripod and the mics over to Alex.
Okay, right. We can do that.
Definitely like the video if you guys are watching this on YouTube. If you're just listening, definitely share it. We do post on Instagram at Sips with Scrub, so we'll be sharing some clips if you guys want to share that on your story as well. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
So did you look?